Right, I think the floodgates have kind of well and truly opened because I was going to make this video and I've just sat down on a super thinky one for like 2 hours or something. But that's cool. It's keeping me occupied. Like, I'm finding it therapeutic, so therefore it's going to be good for my mental health. It's distracting me from all the shit around that I have around Christmas. And it's kept me sort of peaceful and focused. And I've enjoyed it. So there we go. Um, but yeah, I'm enjoying making videos about how weird I am in order to feel normal. I'm loving all these opposites. I loved how by drawing attention to my penis, I became more of a woman. But that made total sense to me because when the girl just when I said I felt exhibitionistical, it's like she got it. Whether she consciously meant it or not, it felt like my woman was being recognized. See, I still feel weird about saying it. Because I don't identify as a woman, but I'm almost thinking it's like I'm both. Just both. But they're integrated, I guess. I've got so much personality I needed two. Um but yeah, it's important to me that it doesn't decry my man, because that was always my dilemma with a lot of it. Was when I wrote that post, I ended up on that Sunday night, I think it was, on the phone to one of the girls I'd written about in the story, about when I'd basically what was it? I had 3 or 4 different fuck buddies on the go, and I was pulling girls on Facebook, and I was looking like I was, to all intents and purposes, killing it in terms of scoring with the chicks or fucking whatever. And it was just, I kept copying feelings, or I was just really weirded out by it. And again, it's like questioning my masculinity. I think I can't even be a real man. I can't, can't really just get into sex because it was all that pressure of, what a real man's supposed to do. I'd spoken about how, this girl I'd fucking, you know, she'd done some modeling in Max Power. She was very fucking hot as fuck. And there I am picking her up, fucking her up against the wall in a little white dress. But I was actually falling for her. And, it was like I knew that I was trying to fulfill emotions. But the world was telling me how much of a fucking alpha male I was, and I felt like a fraud. But it was like none of those women didn't think I was male. They were straight girls. They liked men. There was nothing fake about how I pulled them. But it was a lot of the underlying stuff, and that was the stuff I couldn't admit to. And I think that was the stuff I was keeping myself safe from, because that was that fear of, once you know me, you won't want me. But then at the same time, there I was needing the supposed needs of a man is to, like, if you're not in a relationship, you should be out shagging. I had mates at the time. If I'd been away for a weekend to see one of them, literally that's what it was like for a while. If you're like, oh, where you been? I went to Exeter. Oh, what, shagging? Yeah, good boy. That sort of shit. You know what I mean? It's like it's just such a kind of throwaway sort of thing to a lot of guys. But then they're sort of seen socially as, that's what a man is. That's a typical man. That's the man that all girls go on about. Fucking old wanker, we been shagging. Fucking how disgusting. Da da da. You're degrading to women. And then I'm feeling all those things myself as well. It's probably because my inner woman didn't like the way I was treating women. But you know what? That's the sort of thing that started to make me make sense to myself. Shit like that. And I ended up on the phone to this girl who I'd used as a sort of expression of my alpha mality in the story. And then I'm talking about my womanliness to her, and I was crying, and I'd shared some super intimate stuff with her that I was sort of okay talking about, but it was weird talking about it. I was like, this is really fucking strange for me. I don't quite know what I'm even getting at, but it makes also a hell of a lot of sense. It was, you know, um, there was another woman who'd written to me, and I'd not heard from her in ages. And she'd written me a massive email and was like, I've never felt this compelled to write to anyone in my life. And she referred to a lot of stuff, and she spoke about the femaleness. And I remember her referring to it as your perceived femaleness. And I totally agree with a lot of what she'd written, because when I looked at Taoism and they looked at yin and yang, and it was like, why call it male and female? All of those attributes, as they're called, these lists of the qualities of yin or yang, we call them male and female, but why? And they should exist in equilibrium with, you know, in all of us. And I totally get that too. But for me, it needs to be a woman. Just does. Um, and, you know, it was lovely to hear from her. It was lovely to hear from her. But that would be the one point where I disagree. I think I can't call it perceived womanliness, although I totally get how it is to a lot of people. But it's like, to me, she needs recognizing. And I still kind of have trouble with that. The whole calling her and that. It's, I don't know, it's odd. Because I don't want to identify as a woman. I don't, like when I wore the sarong, I wore it on Facebook with my legs out. I had bought some red and white stripy knee-high stockings to wear with it, but I put them on and thought, no, go. Just wanted to bend my pretty little ass over and fuck me. I was like, no, that's too girly. And there is a line where I think my inner bloke goes, no, hang on a fucking minute. I'm being an understanding man, but for fuck's sake. So yeah, I don't want to look like a woman. I don't want to be referred to as a crossdresser, but I do love a lot of my women's trousers, and there's, yeah, part of my woman loves wearing them. And I kind of say that she chooses them and that sort of shit. Well, I'll end up blaming her for shit, because that's what men do, right? Um, but in a kind of way I am, but in so many ways, like I said, I was just in fucking turmoil. And it was just when I started to apply a woman to a lot of the things that I'd hidden from people, because I thought that they were a weak, shameful man that needs to be grown up away from, and as part of the child, and, you know, you need to be a fucking man. What if it was actually just a woman? And it just, I forgave myself for a lot of shit that had torn me up over the years about myself, and just thought it was just my girl. It was just my girl. And, you know, in the same way that women can refer to themselves as having a hissy fit, they can completely melt down publicly and scream and cry and storm out the room, and come back 10 minutes later or half hour later or whatever and not be quizzed about it because it's girl stuff. But like, I kind of like, I'm really a lot like that, but when it happens in a man, it really doesn't translate in the same way, does it? So I don't know. But it's, you know, I love being able to just chat about so matter of factly about it. Because it just kind of has to be. It kind of has to be. As soon as I identified those parts as a woman, I became massively settled. But yeah, another unfinished point. The mate that I spoke to, he was asking a lot of questions, and he just at one point went, "This is quite a bit to take in, to be honest, from someone who's known you like I've known you. Are you actually saying you're a bird?" And it's a totally legitimate question. It's like, I was like, no, I'm just still me. It's just I've woken up to parts of me, and to me, they're as female as fuck. And that's just, I don't know, that's what it has to be. So like all of those little validations from women, you know, just their acceptances. I'm allowed to exist as me. And, you know, like the girl who I said, I just want to look like a slut. And she said, you go for it then, babes, or something like that. Because as soon as I described it like that, I felt her get it. And again, it was like I felt that the woman in her had seen the woman in me. But she might have thought I was gay. I don't know. I'd love it if I saw her again and she said, no, I knew you weren't gay. That would be amazing. Because the way I just spoke, how I felt, really in line with my female side. I wanted to look like a slut and a whore. I wanted to draw attention to myself. But I didn't want to be, judged or fucking manhandled or even chatted up. I wasn't on the pole. I wanted to just go out and look like a fucking whore because I felt like one. And just the fact that she got it just kind of meant loads to me, because it's not a really very commonly talked about thing, is it? So it's like it's difficult to get those validations without them being a little bit silly or a little bit what you're going on about or a little bit jokey or whatever. So yeah, maybe that's why I'm sitting here hammering the fucking videos about it. Who knows? Oh look, I'm gonna make another 11/11. Perfect. And